Hello there viewers, Guy with a Comment 23, back with part 7 of 2014, A Kubrick Odyssey. And in this part I'm going to be focusing on Kubrick's 1960 historical epic, Spartacus. And the way I'm going to be watching this is via the medium of Blu-ray, and this is the special edition Universal 100th anniversary kind of editions. It's the basic. I mean, the basic kind of disc is the same, but you get kind of double-sided art cards, very nice, and they're basically kind of different posters from the film. But it's nice to have, you know. But yeah, and if I can put those back. Like I said, it's exactly the same disc. Exactly the same disc. There's nothing different about it, apart from the kind of the slip cover and things. And but yeah, good to have this on Blu-ray. Like I say, same disc as kind of all the other releases. And so yeah, next up will be Spartacus. Got an incredible cast in this film. Kirk Douglas, like I just said, one of the most beautiful women in the world, Gene Simmons, Peter Ustinov, Laurence Olivier, Charles Lawton, and Tony Curtis. It's only directed by Kubrick, and this is an interesting one because it's the film that it was the most commercially successful of Kubrick's films to date, but yet the film that he felt the least affinity towards. He more or less disowned the film after its release, citing that he didn't have kind of any creative control over this film. I mean, the only reason he got the job was because the original director, sorry, I got my notes here, the original director, Anthony Mann, was fired 1 week into production. I'm not sure whether it's stated why, and then Kirk Douglas, who'd worked with Kubrick on Past the Glory, suggested him for the directing job, and like I say, he didn't have any creative control over it, and therefore it is probably the least Kubrick film so far. I mean, it has the kind of regular tropes like long shots, lots of sometimes kind of lots of editing, and sometimes not as much, tracking shots and all that good stuff. But apart from that, it's big and it's lavish, and it won 4 Oscars. It's also his longest film in his career. The Blu-ray release is 3 hours and 17 minutes, so definitely his longest. Barry Lyndon is his second longest, I think just under or over 3 hours, I believe. But like I said, he did. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't show, but he must have not been. Well, not that bothered, but he couldn't have put all of his effort into the film if he doesn't even kind of have any control over it, you know. And I could be completely spouting off rubbish, but he must not have done if he has no control over the film. I'm not quite sure. Again, the performances uniformly are absolutely incredible. Laurence Olivier, I mean, really is one of the greatest actors ever to have lived. You know, just incredible. He plays the Emperor Crassus, who's this kind of tyrannical leader. You know, he's not really kind of affectionate to the cause. You know, he's straight down the line. You know, he's not one for making friends, I suppose. Got Tony Curtis as Spartacus' kind of right-hand man, if you will, and he's in the film quite a bit. You know, Gene Simmons, again, one of the most beautiful women in the world, plays his. Well, she was for want of a better word, prostitute, and they kind of fall in love, and he's kind of his right-hand lady, I guess. And yeah, again, just the performances. I mean, with the cast, you're not going to get bad performances, and this film is no different. You know, incredible set design and kind of the costumes and everything, which I believe was kind of most of the Oscars it won was for kind of cinematography, those kind of costumes and things like that. And yeah, so like I say, the most commercial film today. It's most successful by far, definitely. It's one of those films that I sometimes see on TV, and I'm always kind of obliged to watch it, you know. I mean, it takes about like an afternoon, especially if it's on like some kind of channel with adverts. You like every 2 minutes it's like, you know, ads, yeah, whatever. I remember watching this once on I think the first time I saw this on like a really small television in my bedroom or something, like years and years and years ago. I didn't pay like, I did kind of watch it, but I didn't really kind of appreciate it, you know. It was before I actually kind of became involved with film, you know. And but yeah, a lot of good memories about this film. Like I said, it's just it's an incredible film. It's not a film that I watch kind of over and over and over again, but well, probably because it's over 3¼ hours. But originally there was about, I think, about 5 minutes shorter, because there's kind of footage they found that they kind of reintegrated into the film, and also the extended overture, which plays at the beginning of the film and the end, and a little bit in the middle as well, with the intermission. And yeah, so like I say, it's very lavish, you know. It looks fantastic, you know. Cinematography is fantastic, music's fantastic, the acting's fantastic, the action is really hard hitting stuff. It's action in the action scenes. It's really, really well shot. You can kind of basically, you can feel kind of every hit that this arm, it's an army, you know. This all the hits this army takes is just incredible. So yeah, battle scenes are amazing. The acting is incredible. Everything else, it's an incredible film, and yeah, but he's basically kind of disowned the film entirely. You know, he doesn't even consider it a part of his kind of filmography. So if he hadn't have directed it, I mean, there'd be nothing, you know. And yeah, so that's Spartacus. Not too much to say about this film. Like I said, I just watched it. You know, I didn't really. I don't know. You know, I've watched it enough times to kind of appreciate it, and that's what I've just done. Well, hopefully. I mean, even John F. Kennedy. I mean, John F. Kennedy became somewhat involved in this film because a screenwriter who wrote the film, Donald Trumbo, was basically was blacklisted. So he's basically considered persona non grata in kind of Hollywood circles. You know, like his scripts were not really read or never really considered to be made into films. And John F. Kennedy kind of crossed picket lines to see this film, which kind of helped kind of lift the blacklist on him, and allowed kind of more people to see it. Obviously, with being blacklisted, there's kind of like protesters and things outside the cinema saying don't see this film or whatever. But I mean, with a film that involves the President of the United States of America, it's got to be something special, you know. I mean, he doesn't get involved with many films, you know. And I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's the president, for Christ's sake. I mean, just think. But anyway, incredible film. Like I said, great acting. Uniformly, it's amazing. It had somewhat of Kubrick's stamp on it. You know, it's not. I mean, with him not having any control over it, maybe he's not as much effort went into it on his part. But I could be talking a load of rubbish. But yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, I think that'll about do for this part. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and join me next time for the next part of 2014, A Kubrick Odyssey.